GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy work. That's not in question. Here's what should worry you. In a Copenhagen trial, 1 year after people stopped the drug, most of the lost weight was back. But one group in that same trial kept the weight off, without any medication. In this video, 3 methods that pull the same metabolic levers as GLP-1 drugs, ranked by evidence, and at the end, an honest comparison of how big each effect really is. First, 30 seconds on how these drugs actually work. GLP-1 is a hormone your own gut already makes. Cells in your intestine release it after you eat. It slows down your stomach, signals fullness to your brain, and helps your pancreas manage blood sugar. The drugs are long-lasting copies of that hormone at high doses, which means the question isn't drug or nothing. It's, can you pull the same 3 levers, slower stomach emptying, stronger fullness signals, better glucose control through behavior? The evidence says partially yes. Method 1. The protein preload. A meta-analysis of 16 randomized trials looked at what happens when you drink 20 or more grams of whey protein shortly before a meal. Peak blood glucose after the meal dropped by 1.4 millimoles per liter, with high certainty evidence. Gastric emptying slowed, high certainty again. That's the same lever GLP-1 drugs pull. The trials also measured higher GLP-1 release itself, though that specific signal is lower certainty evidence. The practical version, protein first. A protein-rich starter before your carbs. The effect was strongest in people with type 2 diabetes, and dose matters. Method 2. Fermentable fiber. When gut bacteria ferment fiber, they produce short-chain fatty acids, and those directly stimulate the same intestinal cells that release GLP-1. This isn't just mechanism talk. In a 12-week randomized trial published this year, 30 grams of oat bran per day, about 9 grams of extra fiber, significantly raised fasting GLP-1 and its partner hormone PYY, and improved fasting glucose and HDL cholesterol. The practical version: oats, barley, legumes, beta-glucan-rich foods, moving your daily fiber toward 30 grams. Cheap, boring, and it feeds the system the drug imitates. Method 3 is the strongest, and it's the one from the opening. In the Copenhagen trial, adults with obesity first lost about 13 kilos, then spent a year on either liraglutide, a GLP-1 drug, supervised exercise, or both. Then all treatment stopped. 1 year later, the difference was brutal. The drug-only group had regained 6 kilograms more than the exercise group. The exercise group had maintained their weight loss and body composition. The drug-only group hadn't. People who exercised were about 4 times more likely to keep a 10% weight loss than those who had been on the drug alone. And a 2026 network meta-analysis adds the other half. Drug plus exercise beats either one alone, with high certainty evidence for weight and fat mass. Exercise isn't the alternative to GLP-1 drugs, it's the part that survives them. Now the honest part. On raw weight loss, the drugs win. Semaglutide trials show around 15% body weight. These 3 methods together won't match that number. If your doctor prescribed a GLP-1 drug, this video is not a reason to stop it. Where these methods matter: if you're in the prevention zone, not the treatment zone, if you can't access or tolerate the drugs, and especially if you're on them now, because the data says what you build with exercise is what you keep when the prescription ends. 3 levers, no prescription, protein before carbs, 30 grams of fiber, and exercise you don't quit. None of this is medical advice. Talk to your doctor before changing medications. Next episode, the 10,000-step rule. Where that number actually came from will surprise you. Subscribe so you don't miss it.